Good, whatever the time of the day or night it happens to be while you're watching this. My name's Max Furno. I'm the media and graphic designer for Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue Service. As always, the man who ate out every night during Eat Out to Help Out is here. I am, of course, talking about Tom, our media resources technician.
Hi, everybody.
And we'd like to welcome you to the podcast. So this time we're filming from undisclosed locations in the Dorset and Wiltshire area. And Tom, what have we got coming up on the podcast this time?
Well, Max, we have Aishlen Taylor, who is an on-call firefighter at Ludgershall Fire Station, who is going to be doing the honour of narrating for us. And yes, if you'd like to stick around until the end, we will be reading out some of the emails that you've been sending in to us.
Brilliant. I think that all that leaves me to do is to say, Tom, run VT.
Okay.
With social distancing in place, we've had to think differently about the way in which we deliver our work in the community. Many of our stations organise open days, car washes and charity events, and unfortunately this year these could not go ahead. So instead, at the start of the summer holidays, we held our first ever virtual open day. This helped us to promote the wide range of work we're involved in and was streamed live over our social media channels with over 1,000 views. Watch manager Dean Hoskins and crew manager Mark Aldtree of Swindon Greenwatch took viewers on a tour of their fire station and fire engine. Watch manager Mark Evans and Stratton Greenwatch showed us how quickly a kitchen fire can escalate with the use of our hot oil demonstration unit. Pool Blue Watch demonstrated how we carry out a water rescue. Firefighter Lee McCummiskey of Westbourne Greenwatch showed us around the 42-metre aerial ladder platform based at the station. And finally, Safe and Well advisor Rachel Bellamy promoted kitchen safety advice around toasters and ovens. The event finished in a question and answer session hosted by area manager Ian Jerry and featuring firefighters Sarah Wheeler and Martin Hoole at Tisbury Fire Station. This focused on both whole-time and on-call recruitment and finished with a well-timed fire call for Tisbury. In preparation to launch our whole-time recruitment process in October, a socially distanced photo shoot was held at our headquarters in July. The new campaign continues our hashtag #BeOneOfUs theme with the new images already being used on our website and social media sites. A big focus for the whole-time campaign is around encouraging people from underrepresented groups in our community to apply. We are targeting those individuals through social media advertising, local knowledge and leaflet drops, as well as messaging and providing support around fitness, training and career development opportunities, including a new buddy scheme. The scheme pairs up staff volunteers with potential applicants and allows the applicants to find out more about the role of a firefighter and support them through the recruitment process. Visit our website for further details about how to apply. Although schools are now open to pupils, they remain closed to visitors. So, to ensure we can continue to deliver this valuable service to students, the education team have been working hard to develop and pilot virtual DWise lessons, delivered via Microsoft Teams. To support this, we continue to add to the available education material on our YouTube channel, website and social media. Online material has been the focus for our prevention teams. Working with our aerial ladder platform operators, Education Officer John Sweet has produced a series of videos explaining how they operate and what we use them for.
It's lifting up. Can you see that?
TV and radio actor Leslie Joseph has narrated down an original DWFire comic all about our COVID-19 superheroes and also produced a checklist for us on making sure our grandparents and elderly relatives stay safe.
This is the last one, and I think this is really, really important. It was the weekend.
And film, stage, TV and radio actor Zoe Wanamaker reads us another original story written by DWFire called Safe by the River. Go to our YouTube channel to watch more of our entertaining but educational videos. We were honoured to welcome Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Cornwall to Swindon Fire Station in July. Swindon Blue Watch, area management and representatives of our prevention and protection teams were personally introduced to Her Royal Highness by Chief Fire Officer Ben Ansell. Accompanied by the Lord Lieutenant of Wiltshire, the Duchess also met teams from South Western Ambulance Service and Great Western Hospital. The aim of the visit was to highlight the successful joint work of the service and our partners during the coronavirus pandemic. Since the crisis started in March, we have maintained our prevention, protection and emergency response activities despite challenges in the way that crews have needed to work. This has included changes to station and appliance cleaning, social distancing, sickness reporting and additional personal protective equipment in line with Public Health England guidance. Her Royal Highness was at the fire station for about half an hour, and before leaving, our Chief Fire Officer presented her with a plaque to commemorate the visit. Now it's time to look at some of the operational activities we've been involved with. The recent dry weather and high winds over the summer months created near-perfect conditions for wildfires to take hold. Additionally, the easing of coronavirus lockdown restrictions saw an increase in people getting out into the countryside. This meant our firefighters were particularly busy dealing with wildfire-related incidents. To help combat this, our firefighters and volunteers patrolled heathlands, beaches and open spaces throughout the summer, offering fire prevention advice to those members of the public out and about enjoying the great outdoors. Warning signs have also been placed on key routes to remind people of the dangers. The risk of wildfires in heath and woodland across Dorset and Wiltshire this summer was assessed as extreme, which is the highest it can be. Anyone living near heath or woodland in Dorset can help protect their homes by being part of the FireWise programme. We were called to a fire in a joinery workshop in Chilmark, South Wiltshire, towards the end of May. The building was found to be well alight on arrival and took several hours to bring under control. Crews were able to contain the fire and stop it spreading to other nearby buildings and using 6 fire engines and a water carrier. In June, we responded to multiple reports of a fire in a communal area on the second floor of a 5-storey block of flats in Dorchester. Our fire control operators provided fire survival guidance to callers whilst also mobilising 8 fire engines. Firefighters rescued 2 people by ladder from a second floor balcony, while 2 others were led to safety from another flat on the same floor. The whole building was evacuated as a precaution. The fire was contained to the affected communal area and extinguished by firefighters wearing breathing apparatus. An investigation is underway to establish the cause of the fire, which is believed to have been started deliberately. No arrests have yet been made and inquiries into the circumstances are ongoing by Dorset Police. More than 60 of our firefighters tackled a large fire in the roof space of a block of flats in Bournemouth in August. It was very difficult working conditions for our firefighters due to the windy but hot day. Using our aerial ladder platform from Westbourne and compressed air foam system, we were able to save lower floors and adjacent properties from damage by containing the fire to the roof space. The property is on the main road towards the beach, so a multi-agency approach was needed to deal with a large number of people heading home after a sunny day spent at the seaside. We would like to thank our partners and the various other agencies that assisted us, including Dorset Police, South Western Ambulance Service, Scotia Gas Networks and Scottish and Southern Electricity. No one was injured and the cause is thought to be accidental. We responded to reports of a roof well alight in a terraced property in Broad Windsor, West Dorset in July. The family had self-evacuated on arrival and were later cared for by the British Red Cross. Working hard, our crews prevented the fire spreading to the adjacent homes, and the incident was brought to a close by working with partner agencies such as Western Power Distribution, Dorset Council Building Control to assist with structural issues, the Environment Agency and Wessex Water. As a part of a national approach to a high-rise residential building following the Grenfell Tower fire and subsequent public inquiry, inspectors from our protection team are inspecting all 218 high-rise residential premises within the service area before the end of December 2021 to assess their compliance to legislation and to ensure the safety of their occupants. As part of this activity, protection, prevention and operational colleagues will work together to ensure that the buildings are safe, prevention work is undertaken with residents and operational crews are familiar with each building.
Many thanks to Aishlen there for doing such an excellent job on the narration. Tom, before we move on to answering emails that people have been sending in, I just wanted to give a quick Pete update to everybody. as I know he's got hordes of fans that are going to be wanting to know what's been going on with him since he took a year's career break. Well, it looks like he's been enjoying himself so much in his basement that he's decided not to return. Don't worry though, he's fine. He's got millions of elves who are preparing him 3 hot meals of mashed potato and sausages every day, and he's been past these under a small hatch under the door. So he's perfectly happy, and we obviously wish him all the very best for the future. Just being serious for a second, obviously we do wish Pete all the luck in the future. He's going to be sorely missed, but don't worry, Tom is here and he's going to continue producing the podcast for us and working all of the magic behind the scenes. So all the best to Pete there, but let's move on. Tom, what have you selected out of your bag of emails this time?
Well, we've been contacted by new emailer Toby, who says, love the podcast. His question is, has COVID and the need for protective equipment hindered any aspect of normal fire rescue or the ability to come into close contact with the public? Or is your current equipment sufficient to protect the service and the public in the most rescue scenarios?
And so we put this question to Area Manager Seth Y, and Tom, let's hear his reply.
Here's what he said. Hi, Max and Tom. Love the podcast.
Really?
Well, I might have added that bit in. DWFire Rescue Service is proud to say we have continued to deliver at first-class service during these difficult times. We have continued to provide our community safety, education for vulnerable members of the community and deliver our operational response to all emergencies during this time. All DWFRS staff have received increased training and understanding around COVID-19 and the appropriate management of infection control. The public will see an increased level of PPE. This is to ensure the safety of both our staff and the public we engage with. Our prevention work with communities continues, albeit some safety messages will be delivered in new ways, thereby maximising social distancing, such as virtual lessons with school children or providing advice over the phone to those who have home fire safety inquiries.
Many thanks for that reply, Seth. I think what he's basically saying is we had to buy a ton of face masks and hand gel and probably some disposable gloves as well. Tom, what have you got in your email bag? Have we got another one?
Yes, Max. New emailer Dan says, hi, Max and Tom. Love the podcast. If in a building with a COVID one-way system in place and there is a fire, should I head straight for the fire exit or follow the one-way system?
Obviously, neither me or Tom are qualified to answer this question, so we put this to Tim Gray, who's our group manager for protection, it says here. Tim's answered some questions for us in the past, so he knows his stuff. Tom, what did Tim say?
Tim replied, hi, Max and Tom, love the podcast. There isn't a yes or no answer to this, I'm afraid. A premise operating a one-way system in order to provide social distancing measures should provide robust management procedures and adequate trained staff to ensure that in the event of an emergency, the occupants of a premises are able to leave through the nearest safe fire exit route without having to follow a one-way system. A review of the fire risk assessment should be undertaken to ensure that any new hazards are captured and adequately managed. Hope that helps.
So I think what Tim's saying there is that it depends on the layout of the building. Obviously, if your nearest exit point is against the the one-way system, then it would be perfectly acceptable to go against that, because there shouldn't be anyone coming the other way and getting in your way. But there should be, you know, members of staff on hand to, you know, assist with any evacuation anyway. I'm sure Tim will let us know if we've got it wrong anyway, and we can update you next time. So I think that brings us to the end of the show. If you want to get in contact with me about anything that you've seen or heard in this podcast, then you need to be able to spell my surname. If you can do that, then you can email me at max.furno@dwfire.org.uk. Tom, how can people get in contact with you?
People can email me as well at thomas.dryden-kelsey@dwfire.org.uk.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Tell a friend or an enemy about the show. That would really help us out. Also, what would be really good is if you could leave us an iTunes review. I think we've only got about 3 up there, and I think Pete wrote one of those. So if you leave us a review on iTunes, then we'll definitely read it out in the next show. So that's how iTunes works. On reviews. Leave a comment on our YouTube channel. There's loads of stuff up there. Just search for DWFire, and don't forget to ding that bell. I think that's what people are saying these days, and then you can get notified of any new videos that we post. The show is expertly produced by Tom. And I use this in its loosest possible form, but presented by me, Max Furno. I think that all that leaves me to do is to say, no, I've not got a catchphrase, but then I'm not a presenter, I'm a graphic designer. That's all for now. Tom, fade to black.
Goodbye. Right,
Time for a boiled egg. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got my T-shirt on the right way round this time. If you go back and watch the last podcast, I actually had it on back to front.
I didn't know that.
I had it on all day. I didn't notice till I was getting ready for bed, and I took it off and realised. There's a plane going overhead, so we'll wait for that to pass. Yeah, so I think that plane's coming back. Wait for a seagull, which has started another one off, and another airplane. He's coming back again. I reckon it's the same one. Look who it is. What's she got on her face? There you go, Moss. You just made it onto the podcast. Ugh. She's molting. There is a plane going overhead again. Yeah, it's getting louder. Let's just wait. Okay. Right. You said you had another email for us, Tom.
Yes, Max. Our second email is...
You said you had another email. Sorry.
Yeah, I've got it now.
All right, and I'm just waiting for another aeroplane. I'm assuming it's the same one. That aeroplane's back again. He's just doing circuits. I'm obviously not using enough gaffer tape. You know what they say, Tom? If you can't fix it with gaffer tape,
use more gaffer tape.
After this aeroplane again.
Filming from Heathrow today.
Tom, what have you selected out of your bag of emails this time?
Well, first we have an email from Toby. Toby says,
Is he a new emailer?
New emailer, yeah.
He's a new emailer. Tom, what have you selected out of your bag of emails this time?
Well, Max, this time we've been contacted by a contact... Okay, hang on.
It's all good material for the outtakes at the
Yeah,
end.
it's gonna have, so I'm gonna have a lot of that.
So just think of the fact that you're doing the podcast a favour.
Yeah, just can't quite.
That it depends on the layout of the building. That was Hobbs. Did you hear her? It's not going very well today, is it?
Well, it's a lot. It's going to be a longer outtake than there is. Oh dear.
I'll see if it's the same one. If it is, I'm going to shoot it down. Did you want to have the last say this time, Tom?
No. If you want to.
Well, there isn't time anyway.
All right. Right.
You thought you were done,
I know.
didn't you? You weren't really.
I haven't read the last bit. No. Oh dear.